Ladies and gents, we're here. This is the only grand finals that will matter of the entire season. Ignore the rest, apart from maybe Open, which I think is happening possibly tomorrow, possibly not, who knows. But this is low. This is the low grand finals. This is Almost Famous versus BIGFOOT. So I guess now Famous versus BIGFOOT. I'm Eepily. I'm here with DuMmTm. We also have Arch on production. We're going to have some high-tier gameplay.
Well, low-tier gameplay, really, but
Low tier.
close enough.
Sorry, yeah, that one. My bad.
But yeah, it should be interesting. I've watched a lot of low seasons. It was really entertaining for many of reasons, not least of which being that it was really close along the way. These two teams did play before. It was 6 points at the time to BIGFOOT. However, it was a nail-biter of a game, especially on product. I think it was 2-0 Reckoner and 3-2 reverse 3-0 comeback for Almost Famous to get their 6 points there. So despite being undefeated, they were not untested, and the BIGFOOT was one of the few teams that really made them work for it so far. And I mean, if they can't do it now, then it's just going to be the perfect season for Almost Famous here.
Ooh la la. I feel like already there's some team players I'm recognizing. I mean, you've got your boy DuMmTm, legend of the game, played with his Dutchy boys for about 100,000 seasons. I feel like he's a soldier main. He's on the scout class, which would make sense why he's playing in low. You have, I recognize Satan from somewhere, although I think there's an American Satan that was a pyro boy.
Yeah, there
And
was
then the
also
rest of them
another
are
Satan in
vaguely
EU as well.
So
lots
that
of
makes
Satans
things more
actually.
difficult.
But
There's a
yeah,
lot.
I believe Duckus is a sub. The last scout would have been, or the last scout would have been Phoenix otherwise. So Duckus will be a sub here for BIGFOOT playing instead of that. Played like a little bit of mid, I believe, not much. So experience is there for the sub, I believe. On the other side, Almost Famous. Last season's Open winners with only one loss to the team that they beat in Grand Finals. I just looked that up too. So they're just making their way up the divs at the moment. And BIGFOOT is the last thing standing in the way, possibly.
I am tactically informed that Almost Famous is a primarily Polish team.
Yes,
so
all
we
Polish.
have. I don't suppose there's any dominating nationality for the side of BIGFOOT, which would make this more interesting. Not really, no. It's like part German, part Dutch. Okay. We have the Poles versus a European conglomerate, which will be interesting on a geopolitical scale. Especially because I recognize some of these guys from Twitch chat. So they'll be watching this back with Twitch chat enabled. Great work, guys.
I mean, really, all we needed was like one Russian person in here. This would be like the absolute state of TF2, just a lot of Polish people and all of Europe.
That'd be a good idea. I feel like you're gonna have to be the low correspondent at this point because I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen a great deal this season. I don't know if you've already exhausted your in-depth knowledge, but I mean, we do know from a map point of view. We can talk about that. We know what's going on here. We will be starting off on Sunshine. This is, of course, a best of 3. It is a grand final. So we can start off on Sunshine, then going straight into, I believe, Process, and then the decider will be Snake. So fairly standard maps on the scale of things. You know, the only slightly crazy one is Sunshine, which isn't really considered all that crazy these days. Obviously, anytime you go from Sunshine into Process, you're thinking, okay, well, whose scouts are hitting their shots? They're going to win. But it isn't all like that, you know? You got any fat predictions for standout players, big stars, anything like that?
It's going to be interesting. I feel like it will be heavily dependent on how much these teams are able to play the game. In like a very, very reduced kind of sense, this is a sort of like a 10 versus 7 kind of match, and that Almost Famous is a lot more aggressive than the a lot more passive BIGFOOT. I did watch a few of games of BIGFOOTs this season. Standing out for this comparison would be the semifinals they played last week. Or actually this Monday, that was just a few days ago actually. Being a very, very slow game, they just played really, really patient and just tried to make the other team bait out mistakes and played the timer a lot. So it will be very interesting to see which team can impose their playstyle on the other team more. For defensive playstyles, it's usually easier, but as long as Almost Famous plays their game well, they could get away with it.
I really love that you called this budget 7 versus 10. Obviously, as said, they're going to be in the Prem Grand Finals, so if the boys are in chat, make sure you're watching. Make sure you can pick up a couple hints. I'm sure these guys will teach you a little bit about aggression. Because obviously, right, as much as I feel like in TF2, it's a very interesting dynamic when it comes to lower level aggressive and defensive, because theoretically you would have thought standing still is easier than moving forward, right? There's just less going on. But at the same time, actually having stability within TF2 is something which you really have to work towards. Whereas just doing Clown Fiesta can sometimes be a little bit easier of a goal, because the goal is that guy, as opposed to, are we seeing everything? Are we watching every angle, considering every different move on this intricate chessboard? So
Oh
that
yes,
will
Almost
be-
Famous is really good at creating a clown fiesta when they are in disadvantaged positions. That's something they definitely can be doing
That's
if they
their
need
specialty.
to. And then it just like keeps going and going with fights all over the place. And then eventually it just turns in their favor again, and then it just goes back to normal. So that's something that BIGFOOT's holes can't afford to let happen.
I can dig that. Do we have any standout weird off classes? I feel like anytime there's a low division game, there's always like some sniper or heavy main or something who decides to play that all game.
Matza is a pretty good sniper. I believe he's actually in Prem Highlander this season. I'm pretty sure I actually saw him play yesterday. So he would be the resident sniper here more than anyone else on Almost Famous. For BIGFOOT, I'm not so sure. It's a lot of different people used to pick up the sniper rifle for them. So it really just comes down to the situation they're in, I think, because a lot of people are fairly capable of playing sniper there.
That does make a lot of sense. One of the many Premiership Highlander players who are playing in low sixes. Interesting.
Yeah, same with DuMmTm, actually. They're on the same team in Highlander as well. Yeah, he's playing, I think, actually, Solly in the same team as Manta's playing Sniper for. And now neither of them is playing either of those classes. Because it would just be too good.
I would imagine if DuMmTm was on Soldier, he wouldn't be allowed in low, considering he's played like...
Yeah, probably.
I think he's played
then
again,
Soldier, I wouldn't know if the admins would care, to be fair, at this point.
I don't know. I've seen questionable demos not be allowed to play low demo, so whatever. Oh my days, right. We have 12 people in a server, and considering we have literally been harassing these players to make sure that they start on time,
yes.
so we have enough time to cover their game and the Div 1 game at 21:15.
Yeah, right after,
I feel like it's time to make some predictions based on the very limited knowledge that at least I have, and the slightly less limited knowledge that you have. Who do you think is going to take this map at least? And I'm just going to disagree with you for the fun.
I'm going to say this map BIGFOOT and the rest of the two go to Almost Famous. That
interesting. So you're saying BIGFOOT this game, but Almost Famous series.
Yes.
See, I actually think I'm gonna agree and then disagree. I think BIGFOOT are gonna win this game. I think BIGFOOT are going to win this series because they've got your boy DuMmTm, who I met LAN once and I thought was really.
You know
really
what
nice.
knowledge I do have is that you know how everybody always wants to be Team B, right? Because you just pick first in the map pick process. Ox is of the impression that it's better to be Team A, just so you can see what the other team's doing first and get into the head a little bit more. Apparently, courtesy of something Kato said once. So he believes in the big brain strats, and therefore this is BIGFOOT's map, which I'm not surprised by. They played this very well, very controlled in the semifinals. So I would not be surprised that this was their map pick. Process is a fairly standard map, but from all I've seen of Almost Famous on it, it looked really good. And Snakewater is also a map they tended to pick, I think, in both their playoff games so far. So they just got a decent draw there.
Oh, damn. Well, I think it's going to be definitely interesting at the least. We may well see a 3-map series. We may well see triple golden cap if they want to make it near impossible for us to cover Div 1 as well. But I mean, I guess we will end up finding out. These players are pretty much ready to go. We've made our little predictions. So we'll give just a couple more moments just for everyone to get in a nice comfy position. Make sure you get your drinks, you get your popcorns. Make sure you're ready to go. It is a bit early, you know. I feel all out of whack right now. It's I don't know what it is with like low division teams and playing at weird times. There was like one game which was like 2013 or something. This season.
I swear, no games outside or like below mid ever happen this early. Like the lower divs you go, the earlier games happen, and the later divs you go, nothing happens past like earlier than 21:15 anymore. In mid, it's like 50-50, and it's like, and even in mid, you can like see like it's really funny because it's like it feels like only the good mid teams always like tend to play 21:15, and the lower mid teams always play 20. I don't know how that happens, but it is what it is. That's something I noticed.
You can accurately determine how good your mid team is by when you play your.
Yes. If you play more than like twice at 20, you're just bad.
Oh, take that knowledge along with you because we're going to be going live here. This is our low grand finals, Almost Famous versus BIGFOOT, and already you can see Almost Famous been sitting there checking with the old spies in spawn. They want to see if there's any off classes to mid, of which there are, of course, none. Everyone's pretty cookie cutter. Both demos arriving similar time. The teams are taking their own positioning towards Cafe, playing a little bit chill. No great initiations so far, so just get some decent high ground. But you see These soldiers jumping forward now. Battles towards the spire. The first rank's going down though. That's going to be Matter, soldier on the side of blue. He's going to lose his life, but quickly pick up a 2 from Sweaty Sam here. In some decent position. DuMmTm and his medic buddy, that is leaving all the way choked. Low mid, no real frags going either way, but it is almost famous taking the first mid here.
TK a little bit late on the escape there, might not get out. Ox on the catch for the Demo Man, misses a few rockets, gets the pack as well. Still not out of that, Dross is on it as well. Katka from the back lines gets the kill in the end. No way out for TK, way too late out of mid. And yeah, that was the first pick I think going to BIGFOOT on the mid fight. But they, like you said, were just too slow to really act on it, and then it just was coordination there up top. I think Ox on the bell tower and the scout with him as well. Just shot down everything on the high ground really quickly and just turned it around in their favor. So Poland back in the picture here.
Yeah, they're going to be sitting here with an equal situation. We do have guns and all those good things on the side of BIGFOOT, so they're going to be chilling just a little bit. It is going to be, right now, almost easy. They're picking and prodding quite a bit towards lobby, trying to see if there's some kind of opening. Obviously, Sunshine Lass is a little bit difficult to get through between the gun and the kind of fairly narrow doorways, which you can spam a massive amount. Might just see a bit of peek and prodding. Yep, Matt is going to be going in. He's going to get nuked by a gun. Going to lose his life, and the rest of his team are going to be slowly moving out through lower, so possibly we might already see the Matter sniper coming up now.
Katka lucky to get out there, but it's actually 2 counter picks to Almost Famous. They just peeked a bit too much into lobby, and that's just really quick picks there. Onto BIGFOOT's players, 2 picks is really good, especially the entry. No heals on the gun anymore, that could be spammed down easily. They pop through quickly. Red Medic with a much better Uber here.
Yeah, he did actually get blasted to the floor though, so he can't commit forward with TK. So TK is just going to be content to let them get spammed out a little bit. These spawners now just only coming in on the side of BIGFOOT. So the repush isn't quite on for Almost Easy. I feel like they were holding that tab button, waiting for the spawners to come in. There's just a couple seconds more, maybe they would have committed. But the second, it seems like they're content just to get the Ubers out the way. Taking the gun down now, taking some decent position towards left whenever they want to. It's a bit of an option. Actually just building on the second though, so Almost Easy. I feel like they're getting an idea of how this last is looking. They're getting a lot of position whenever they want it, but for the minute, they just want to focus on getting this Uber. Obviously, getting an Uber, it's a significant, you know, it's like that sense of security, you know? Even if everything goes to absolute hell, you'll have an Uber, you can use, you can go invulnerable, and then, like, at least get outside. So, definitely playing fairly safe for the minute. They're not feeling pressurized.
Yeah, Almost Famous is just looking for safe openings into last year. Like you said, they're just sacking in players, see if something works. The exchange was the most that happened here for the minute. Really, DuMmTm on Spy, he's only checking so far. Actually goes back to heavy, just picks the defensive off class right now, wanting to play safe. You also see Satan on the conch Matter again, second time trying to sag with a bit of spam on the other side, none of which really connecting with much. That's a pick for BIGFOOT, but it's only a single one, and the conch surely isn't ready yet.
Oh, Amp is in, 1 rocket, doesn't find that second air shot. Oh my god, how are we going to pronounce this medic's name? Would it be Ixio or would it be like Zhou or something?
You just say Xio and hope it's right.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do Ixio. He did a little surf there. Managed to escape all that damage, and yep, Ampty's bomb doesn't do a great deal. So now moving forward again, Matter is on this sniper, Premiership sniper main. He's going to be walking and getting a very close shot towards Satan, not quite hitting that headshot though. He's going to immediately go for this rotate towards top right. This is obviously a really important thing on sniper, constantly moving your position, constantly looking for different peaks and prods. He's back on left again. At least forcing this soldier back again. They do seem to be able to walk forward whenever they want to, but Ox is actually going to get taken down. So now, soldier down, 1 scout is on sniper. Sorry, the other soldier's on sniper. They're going to have no real spam. Back outside they go. I like this angle close on shutter though.
That was a bit awkward though, because they had the sniper left and everybody else was right side. No one was with him. Somebody rushed him. That would have been really bad real fast. And in the meantime, Ox is slightly overextended on the other side. That could have been spiraling out of control much more than it thankfully did for Almost Famous. So BIGFOOT still playing patient here and just not wanting to commit to any mistakes on safety. They want Almost Famous to do something bad into last themselves and clean up the mess afterwards for an easy second push instead, which is understandable, but obviously we'll keep the Stalemate intact until Almost Famous either makes that mistakes or finds out an answer to this hold here.
It is kind of interesting really, because with the way this is playing out, Almost Famous, like, they can just peek and prod, and eventually, like, their sniper's going to hit something, right? You have 2 defensive off-classes on the side of BIGFOOT. They have this NG, they have this heavy, so, like, they're not really going to do anything. They can peek and prod, they can maybe take down Ox here as well. Yeah, he's going to get picked up, fine. Does get traded out. All of this is nothing really to the benefit of BIGFOOT. It's just preventing what seems to be fairly inevitable. Matter Gonna escape with his life, get another little opportunity. Does look like they're content to stay in lobby with these equal players dying. Yeah, they're just gonna peek and prod and do whatever. Like, eventually it's gonna happen, right? I feel like this is something which a lot of teams do but aren't super experienced. Like, they'll be so focused on countering what a team's trying to do and that they don't actually do anything proactive themselves.
Yeah, given the situation in the game, it could be a lot worse though. Sure, nothing's gonna be happening and the timer runs down for another 5 minutes maybe. But at the very least they get to mid at the end of this without losing around here, so for now they can afford to just play the timer here, and it continues being this left sniper figure. Starts getting a little bit of success, they bait people into the sideline, but always at the cost of somebody's life on Almost Famous. This time Ox going down while trying to create space for the sniper there, baiting people into the sideline. Mansa still has the space though, mostly got the sentry there. Worth something, but they need something more.
I honestly feel like if Ox doesn't cop on a banner at this point, he is missing out on a trick there. I don't think he actually is either, so I really feel like banners in this situation could be something really, really positive. Like, you can just sit here, you can spam, you can do whatever, and you can build yourself up an advantage again. Oh my god, Droidus is actually just going all the way in, getting some decent damage. You're going to be at least trading with Satan here, but now no demo, no spam. The sniper, other than that one shot we've seen so far, he's not really getting anything too significant. I don't know, it seems to be like whenever he gets in a position to do something, his team's like, okay, we're just going to go into the doorway now. And then they can't really protect him properly. I don't really get it. There's a lot of opportunities as well where BIGFOOT don't, like, they've not sent a soldier to jump in, like, other than that once. Right, DuMmTm's going down, no heavy. There's still this gun up, there's still this opportunity to try and keep some kind of close hold, but they have to be really, really careful as, once again, Matza peeking towards his left-hand side. His team just about wanting to commit now. Ox is in, getting some decent damage, trading with AMP. But once again, Matza's just by himself. They're not committing to this push at all. They're not committing to taking any more space. They're going to keep on exchanging spam top right.
Ooh,
and then they're
both
going to use
players on right.
the gun.
They just severely overextend. Drosses just wanted to get the down there, and his scout tried to protect them, both basically baiting each other perfectly in favor of BIGFOOT. This might be what they're looking for. Everybody's backing off really quickly here. And patience is a virtue. They're getting rewarded for taking their time with this on BIGFOOT, getting out of last. Not even having to use it at all on either side for that matter, but hey, the Stalemate moved out of last, and at that point it's definitely a net gain to BIGFOOT.
It is. I mean, you know, I was talking trash almost there for a little bit there, but turns out the other team just likes speeding quite a bit, you know? What can you do? I think Satan as well is going to be running the conch as well, so Matt is in the Uber situation, and Matt is still in the sniper. We do have this opportunity to get a conch, run forward, go for some kind of sack with it. We've seen some considerable success, especially in this massive, massive low ground where Matza and his gang of gamers is currently positioned. They're committing really heavily to the sniper. I feel like they don't even want to bother with anything else at this point. They're just going to be like, right, eventually our sniper's going to hit something, and then, I don't know, something else will happen, right? I feel like if you're inside a BIGFOOT, at some point you just jump a soldier in. Especially
apparently Kartka just timed out, but he immediately reconnected, so the crisis averted. It was not like a major case of anything that needs to pause or anything. It's nice to see that BIGFOOT isn't really doing anything with this, especially since he's immediately back on the server. So just a little.
It's honorable, right?
After a little bit of drama on a match play, it's just nice, you know.
I don't know. It's like, do you want to win or not? You know, you gotta commit. The second, like, if they're med like DCs, you're in full commit push. Right. Equal Ubers, equal players. Still got this sniper up. Still got this conch sorting out on Satan. Everyone's playing fairly forward. It's difficult to get any kind of shot towards this medic unless they can take a lot of position towards the valley side. I mean, both teams just decide to give up with Cafe. They're bored of Cafe now. We do see one soldier peeking a little bit. Again, there's a lot of space. I feel like they could even potentially want to snipe through there. I'm not even sure what angles you can see from Choke right now.
Yeah, Choke is a really sketchy sideline. Cafe isn't great, but it's something, and obviously Valley is the one you really want to try to abuse if you can, but it's also predictable. The spam by Thrusters!
What?
Just catches the medic in front of forward spawn, out of nowhere. Nothing happened, and the medic just caught by pipes out of nowhere.
That's incredible. Okay, right, Uber's been dropped. BIGFOOT not happy about that at all. Ampty's going to try and make the best out of a bad situation. He gets nowhere near. 0 damage at all. Exio is just going to be cruising all the way through the second. His team's going to take control of point, and Sway Sam's even picking up TK now. Oh, Demo Man at all is going to be alive on this last 20-second respawn. Going to make things incredibly difficult, and this full Uber's going to be just walking through. Uber's getting used now as well. So much damage towards his heavy TuMTm. Going to be losing his life. His gun's going to be going down next, and so many frags all the way of Almost Famous. They can move towards this point. This conch is still active, but so much damage has been done. What a crystal clean little push there for Almost Famous. And they're going to secure this first round.
It's like you said earlier, like whichever playstyle you favor, in the end of the day, you need to have like your mind to it at all times. Otherwise, one mistake can just change everything on this defensive playstyle. And DuMmTm just not seeing spam coming could be just that. And obviously, good focus fire at the end of the day just cleans up around like that very quickly for Almost Famous.
That's a rough way to lose a round, but, you know, there's still 20 minutes left in this game. Plenty of time. TK taking a little bit more damage than Droids this time, so he's going to have to play just slightly more chill. Both teams, again, playing towards their side. Ampty going to be going behind. He's going to commit much further behind as Duckus tries to jump in on the counter-attack, but he's not really going to commit a great deal. Oh, it's a little bit difficult, but actually with a fantastic little surf from Exio, he's going to get all the way above point, and the rest of his team just stomping through the rest of this mid-fight. Position taken, health conserved, and all of BIGFOOT just going to be backing straight to lobby here. They have the fear, you know, they've heard from all those casts for the last 10 years or so how dying on Sunshine Second is the worst mistake you can ever make, and they're not even going to bother. They're not even going to look at it.
Yeah, they even managed to at least get out with their medical life, so the Stalemate will be intact, and like we've seen before, it was very troublesome looking for Almost Famous to get anything started here. Obviously getting out very much relies on them messing up too, so it's not like this is that great, especially now the time's ticking against you, but you just need some opportunity. Empty from left to right on Lars, tries to connect with his medic and just create the student stab. Very unlucky. That's the pick though for Almost Famous. Let's see if they do anything with this.
Yep, they're going to be peeking forward again. We do see Massa try and jump in, but there's Heavy literally standing in the doorway. He's going to completely put a stop to that. But like Droids is getting aggressive towards the left, and he must be calling for his team like, boys, this is pretty clear here, especially if they pick up this soldier. One little bit of spam, one frag here towards Satan will completely open this up, but I don't feel like they can fully get to it. They feel a little bit pressured by the top right-hand side, so they're going to keep on chilling. Obviously now, in this situation, Almost Famous, they are a round off. They don't actually have to do anything for the rest of the game if they don't want to. I feel like they will, but they don't actually have to. This is going to be where inactivity will genuinely really hurt the side of BIGFOOT. But Massa tries again, going for the doorway. Didn't work.
You say that, but it's I think a little bit too early still. Ooh, TK getting spammed up by the Devilman there. Could not get through the door. Empty also gets spammed back, so no chance to commit there. But yeah, what I was saying is that it's just a bit too early, I think, for Almost Famous to relax here. If they let this timer run down, it's just gonna go back to mid after half the round has been played here.
You see TK again, still no stickies on the side of BIGFOOT. He will be spawning any second, so there was no stickies at all. I feel like there's a little bit of some missed opportunities. There's nothing really watching lower consistently. They have got the information about this on the side of Almost Famous, so a little bit of a chance there. Duckers be checking some of the classes in spawn, a little bit scared of this Master sniper perhaps, but it's not a sniper. Master's going to be on the heavy class, so we're going to be seeing a trade as well. Nice and easy trade. Taking down the gun. That's going to be significant on the repush now, especially because there's going to be a 450 health heavy walking all the way towards this top right-hand side. Problem is, though, not really got the spam or anything, and Satan does have a conch. He's going to be actually getting really aggressive. The gun's actually died to players spamming from below. Droids, ooh, he just about gets taken down there along with Oxen. All of this positioning and height is going to go the way of BIGFOOT now. They can take control of lobby and possibly can look to get out on the second here. No soldiers on the defending side, only one heavy, and he's far back as well.
Yeah, this means BIGFOOT all the way into seconds. All these forwards spamming people out. Mats are still close, just tries to be annoying. He might actually sneak away a kill here. Satan really weak, stays in the corner. Hopes the arrow comes in time, but never did. It's at least a trade, so it can't be too bad at this point. But that's still a really unfortunate way to go out here. And yeah, Almost Famous had an idea, but you could see how that faulted on the execution there, on the repush. They just went in time to play off the heavy, really. And rotation too low, just took too long and got spammed down by the Saudis way too early.
Yeah, it's really difficult when you go for that heavy repush. Like, the heavy has to be one of the last things through, otherwise he'll just get spammed really early. You still have to commit with your, like, fast players, but didn't quite work out, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. So once again, we are going to have a little bit of a stalemate situation, equal Ubers outside of both teams, but at least we're from mid to second now. So nice and aggressive can these soldiers be, as Max is going to be jumping in nice and deep with his little buddy, helping him out as well. 0 damage. Going to be connecting, though. This time, this red medic's not going to be getting anywhere near the same level of spam catching. Oh my god, Satan's taken over, though. He's eating all the pipes from across the map, but one cheeky little arrow is going to keep him alive there, so...
That was really unfortunate for Ox as well. They tried to double stack. Ox got the Knight early, and with 12 HP, he somehow managed to escape Amp, chasing him through Auto Valley, and they cleaned up him instead as well, somehow in the midst of that. So it's the immediate counter pick that just doesn't allow a real sack to happen for BIGFOOT right now. And the Stalemate keeps being attacked, and both sides just spy checking each other intensely there. I don't know who actually got the better end of the knowledge exchange there, but Matter is keeping the spy class here, so...
Yep, he's going to be walking all the way forward towards second. He's going to get a lot of information from his team. He'll know exactly where this medic's playing to allow his team to spam just a little bit easier. Yeah, they 100% know he's on the spy. You see these scouts, they are running around, dancing, and now floating a little bit, because we do have a pulse.
Yeah, and if history has taught me anything, my call is that Manasa is going to time out here any second. Because that tends to be why these pauses happen, though.
I'm a big fan. Honestly, I feel like it'll 50% be him timing out, and 50% the fact that they don't like players in Div 1. And they're just going to keep now pausing every single map.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they respect the fact that you only have so many pauses in a given match. But we'll see. Maybe it's just Katka again. He did die earlier, so... Who knows? At least last time he came back quickly, so there's hope.
It is true. It is true. That would be it would be an unfortunate situation, especially in a grand finals, to have just one of your players completely stop being able to use their completer. In terms of the minute, I feel like this Matter spy, you know, is going to work out. I'm getting that feeling. I feel like right now, this is my theory crafting of what I would do if I was playing this low grand finals. Right, a while back, we used to see not regularly but semi-regularly demo sacks from mid to second, because these soldiers can hold the doorways fairly well, and you kind of have to be like overly split anyway, so it's not that much more of a risk. And obviously a demo can just jump in straight from like choking, you know. There's like so much ground for him to just like plow down stickies. I feel like against teams which don't have everything locked down like a king, that could be a decent idea. We might even see that as this game is unpaused. Ooh, that is some significant spam towards this medic as well. Matter might have an opportunity to even just go in and try and revolver. Be a little bit faster than this though. Looks like he is just going to play nice and chill. Decloaking now directly behind the medic. He's revolvering. Oh my days, he's really not hit very much at all. Okay, that didn't go great.
Alright, I did do my research, and it is apparently Ox that timed out, but the moment I was able to say that, he was already reconnected, so... there we go, it wasn't too long a pause, and we know why it happened. Empty tries to sack. Fuchok gets caught on the ceiling. Very unfortunate, does not get the counter sack off in time, and everybody at that point is oncoming already. Not really any chance there to make much happen. And with that, Matza back on Solly for the remainder of the Stalemate for now.
Yeah, I feel like he was a little bit embarrassed by that, and he's like, you know, I'll play the splash damage class, that'll make things a little bit easier. And in fairness, there's a lot you can do on Soldier. You know, you can do some big bombs from not only Choke, but from Valley as well, so... We are seeing consistently Almost Famous be the aggressors in almost every situation. They're constantly trying to find something which is going to work, and just as before, I feel like they probably will. Matt's already looking like he wanted to get a little buff there to try and go for something, but... and try and clear out some space a little bit first. Satan, we do have hiding close choke, so anyone who does overextend just a little bit when they do go for the sack, he will, you know...
Alright, that was where Ox timed out. He tried to hide in the corner in Cafe, got spotted, and the moment they tried to shoot him, he just DC'd.
Oh, that's not ideal, I'll be honest.
Granted, I mean, it wasn't a death on the Nox, I'm pretty sure.
That counts. That counts then. That's all good, alright. We will be seeing him back in the game. He will now have to, you know, make his way to the rest of his team, which ain't ideal. But we will be continuing this little stalemate. It is currently 1-0 for the side of Almost Famous, and they're looking pretty happy right now. And we've seen just not a great deal of success from BIGFOOT at any point. TuMMTm actually did go all the way back to spawn, literally just to check classes. I'm gonna desperately hope he like leaves spawn and on something. No, he's still gonna be trusting the old scout class. Okay. Okay. Alright. I've done my theory crafting. What would you do in this situation, which isn't just stand around and hope the other team messes up?
I mean, at some point, either you need to really, like, actually commit with something, right? You need to take risks, especially on BIGFOOT, so obviously Almost Famous. Be it just sags, more than a single sag maybe, or just try to get some weird exchange out of this hard on this point. More so better off just suited for sags, I would say. But the more time they're letting run away here, the less likely it is to even make a comeback, especially in regular time before the golden cap.
Yeah, we are seeing Matter at least jump in a little bit, cause a little bit of a distraction, but Satan's on it, forcing him out as well. historically, what people tend to do on this map is get some sticky spam towards the medic on second and then go for a deep bomb. You can get that 30-40 damage tag really, really easily, and then suddenly one rocket's going to force, as opposed to, you know, needing more than one rocket. So usually that would tend to go pretty well. We're not seeing that being used that much. I feel like Droids is kind of going for it, but he's not really hitting all those stickies. Instead, though, he's going to be leading the charge towards Valley, taking some position here. BIGFOOT are going to be rotating some players over here, including their demo as well, so they'll be spamming things just a little bit, trying to pressure this, but there's still a lot of height to jump from, and they do want to commit. With where this medic is positioned on the side of BIGFOOT, he doesn't have access to all of his players, so actually this long-term spam game might work a little bit better for them, but Matt is going to overstay his welcome. He's going to die. Right, player advantage for BIGFOOT. Boys. Do something. Oh my god,
tries.
he's in, he's done.
Not the best success there, but they tried. But yeah, it's like you see this a lot in like lower divisions, which is that teams have like this one general place that they're really good at. They have this plan A that they can definitely succeed in, but the moment that doesn't work, that's just not too much of a plan B anymore, and that kind of seems to be the way for BIGFOOT here right now. Sure, they can enforce a stalemate, as we've seen before, and get away with that sort of playstyle. But the moment they need to be the ones initiating much more so than Almost Famous, it's just not much more creatively coming from them right now.
Oh, and we see a sniper once again on the side of Matt. He's going to be doming TK, so no demo on the defending side. As always, making things a little bit easier. And a soldier will be jumping in as well, get some decent damage, get some decent position towards choke, but ultimately no second frag there. For all this time, we do see Kaka and Matza towards this frag peeking and prodding, getting pretty weak though. They're going to have to back at themselves a couple of arrows before going for a re-aggression. We can once again have an opportunity if anyone on BIGFOOT did want to come up as an off-class. In fact, well, I mean, they could just walk back at this point. I don't know why I said that. They can even walk back and spawn us like 20 meters away, but they still don't want to.
The question is, on BIGFOOT's mind right now, there's 9 minutes in the game and 3 minutes on the round. Would you even want to go into a mid-fight right now, given the fact that you still haven't won one? The last one being arguably a little bit worse than the first one to begin with as well? It's sketchy decisions you have to be making here right now. Or do you just take the risk now instead of on the mid-fight?
It is true, in fairness. Like, I guess the enhanced risk now is that they're currently on second, and if something disastrous happens, like, you could lose second to last pretty easily, but, like, I don't know, losing's losing, mate. Like, something will have to happen on this defending side. They're taking the word defending a little bit too literally. Kaka, again, taking space. So many of these players towards Almost Famous are going to be walking towards this valley side. Matza's never really committing too hard there. Doesn't want to get jumped. Duck is going to get taken down. I believe it's a body shot and a Death gun at the same time. So, yeah, one scout missing. Will be another opportunity if they want to send a soldier in along with this deep sniper pick and make things a little bit easier without having that second scout to deny. Peeking and prodding.
Yeah, I can't really blame Almost Famous for just continuing the slow pace style right now. They can't afford to be the ones taking risks right now, so they just engage in the really slow pace of the game right now, just as much as the other team is. And eventually there's a little bit better coordinated spam coming out. Eventually they get the sniper out of the equation here, BIGFOOT. Get something started. Satan in, into mid.
0 damage on the medic there.
Yeah, he was so far back. Both scouts just body blocking that for the medic. Well played on the defense there, and just making sure nothing happens to them for now. It doesn't get them out of mid right now. They only have 2 more minutes to stay here until it will be a mid fight again.
I'm going to put forward my theory that if you send in a single soldier sack more than twice in a row, you're bullying your soldier. Granted, they did shake it up by sending in Satan instead of AmpT, right? It don't work, right? Like it's 2019. Single soldier sacks can't just jump in and like own a medic unless you hit like the nuttiest shots. Which, let's be real, ain't currently happening. So, I don't know. I'm gonna make a massive assumption that this is Almost Famous's map pick, because literally all of BIGFOOT seem to have no idea. AmpT does get taken down towards the flank. He did get super weak, gets cleaned up by Matza nice and easy. So once again, player advantage. Matza this time takes a position towards choke. Droids as well, getting some good spam. Good damage towards this medic now as well, if anyone does want to go deep. Matza's a little bit too weak to do it, and he will get cleaned up now as well. The team's going to be backing with this spawner coming in, AmpT just in a couple seconds. Oh my god, I think they're actually going for the round reset. They genuinely just want to go for the round reset.
Yeah, I probably. At this point, they kind of reverse the situation, and they can only afford to do it this match anymore, to force Almost Famous to be the ones engaging here, to not lose control of the midpoint, which after this has happened, there's not enough time on the map anymore to make this happen, so this is the only chance they got.
Yeah, I feel like they just want to go down in history as that team that stood around for ages. Alright, oh my god, they are walking all the way in. Ox is actually going to lose his own life as well. Is Delman as well just about getting used on. He's going to keep himself alive for just a little bit, and then he's just going to walk forward, and Droids is actually all the way behind them, so you do force off this Uber. 16 seconds left on the clock for someone to cap a point before this goes for a big old reset, and Droids is behind towards point. He's going to get taken down though. The 2 players down on the side of the Polish team with 6 seconds left on the clock. These players on the side of BIGFOOT aren't getting anywhere near the cap, and this should just be going for a... Ooh, I was going to say round reset, but actually these players on the side of Almost Famous are getting all the way towards point. Team has to do quite a lot of work here, and they're actually just going to get cleaned up completely! No, this is not going to be an overtime into straight last push, because it's just Duckers right now. He's just sitting there on Engineer. 2 seconds for the remaining 3 players. Duckers, he's going to be running out all the way on the little Pootas towards point all by himself. My brother, he's trying for it. He's going to get taken down, though. These 2 more players are going to be coming in. The rest of Almost Famous, they're going to start charging in. Their spawners aren't absolutely perfect either. They get so much cap time and so much damage as well. The soldiers still committing. Droids as well walking in. Ox has lost his life. Droids as well. They surely cannot continue to commit here. But Karka does pick up this medic. Jesus Christ, that's scary.
That was such a smart flank though by Almost Famous to get the cap on second to begin with, or at least force out everybody to backing off there. They knew they can't not go forward anymore, so they just played into the expectations and just play into the faster cap on second. TK getting picked up here early as well, everybody rushing out of last. You don't have heals either right now. And of the mad kill early by Karka just in the favor of Almost Famous. Everybody takes so much time. Satan picked up late by Ox as well. They might just got the picks they need to just push in straight into last.
Yeah, but I mean, like, by the time they cap point, they're 85% already. The demo's just only getting up. The stickies will just be getting onto point now. Uber's up. They can walk all the way top right. Absolutely no fear at all. Droids are going to walk in, and TK is playing super close. He should be getting cleaned up nice and easy. Does actually manage to live just a little bit, but no stickies towards point at all. Karka's going to be the first death, actually, on the attacking team. That's the exact opposite of what you wanted. Everyone's going to be so spread on the side of Almost Famous. They're getting basically nothing from this. What an absolute catastrophe of a push. And even Exio is going to be dying here now to Satan. Nice little skips getting towards the medic there. It's only really Matter and this spawner Karka. Matter's going to escape with his life, but actually, I don't know, 3 minutes 40 left to go. A huge Uber advantage. And this might actually be BIGFOOT's chance to just momentum all the way forward and get themselves an equalizing little round here.
Yeah, around with this little time that could have just been curtains for the match if they played slow, but now it is all on Matter to hit shots there, and 1 is just not good enough. Sam is still kind of around, but he's not getting past everybody in front of the medic, so BIGFOOT getting mid here. A lot of spam. Hitting the medic too, he's weak, gets escorted back to the med kit to safety. They have this ad and it needs to count. You can hardly even afford to use it into second unless he will kill the medic here.
Yeah, exactly. And with where Exio is playing, like, he's literally in through the shot. He's 5 meters into the shot. It's not happening cool. They're just going to concede all of second for the sake of trying to get the Uber towards last. 75% though, and this Uber's going to be moving all the way through low. Uber's getting used. They're forcing this medic into spawn. 86% now, rotating towards left-hand side. They're already getting cap harm though. DuMmTm getting a perfect little flash here to save his life, but 98% on Exio. He is going to be able to get his Uber now. He should be able to use on point. And these BIGFOOT players, they're going to have to desperately escape. All 3 of these surviving players will be getting out towards second. They will have a little bit of an advantage. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. It's so tiny of an advantage. And I feel like at this point, the Polish team, they have absolutely no necessity to want to push out, and yet they seem to want to.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. Drosta's just completely out of position, takes so much damage. All the spam hitting him. Live with barely 30 HP. Just about getting out of there. That would have been a really detrimental pick in this non-Uber situation right now. But it's not happening. BIGFOOT doesn't have that demo pick right now. And another close call on both sides after this interesting little exchange that was just slightly off timing-wise, I think, for BIGFOOT. If they capped faster or the medic had slightly less Uber, this would have been a much different story.
Dude, this building is actually dope. This was an 8% advantage. It's now turned to 25% as they're going to walk in. Use all the way. DuMmTm though getting dropped. Oh, his medic just got moved way too far away. They're going to be moving all these players towards point. 91% on Exio, and so much damage is being rained down. 4 versus 4 versus 3 now. He does just about get his Uber towards point once again on the side of BIGFOOT. They're just going to try and escape a little bit, but Karka, how does he go down towards a flag? This has to be absolutely huge from Droids. He's got to keep some stickies, some presence towards point. Exio's trying to go for some frags himself, but he's actually going to be left all by himself. These spawners aren't coming in time. And BIGFOOT's going to equalize. 1 minute 20 left to go. Oh my days.
Again, patience is a virtue. They just were hanging on by a thread most of the game to make this happen. But here we are, they honestly just did one thing better so far this match, and that's just this recommit after the Ubers have been used, where almost Famous couldn't do it earlier. They just barely got away with it this time. But that might just be good enough. A minute left could still happen for a round, but it's so unlikely.
It is pretty unlikely. TK's getting pretty weak though, actually. He was a little bit lucky to live there at all. The damage is already pretty good, and taking down this medic as well. Oh, Exu with the dodges. This is actually so sick. Duckers is going to try and commit, but he doesn't even get that frag either. It's all on DuMmTm, who will pick up this medic now, but every single player on the side of BIGFOOT should be dying here. And the skill stick coming out from Massive with a little bit of BM. DuMmTm, get back to mid. We don't care about you in low. You ain't good enough anymore. Because Droids is all the way towards last. He's got his stickies. Going to be doing a lot of damage. Not actually taking down Satan. He's going to be a little bit scared. The
Ooh,
pipes
big
as well.
pipe. He really can't afford to die there though. It's good that he leaves eventually. Dying there for him would have been detrimental like nothing else for the team right now. So here we are. Ox in early, wants to get some damage. For some reason though, that you don't want to afford to wait here for the rest of the team.
No, but it's literally 7 seconds left on the clock. Both scouts, they ran towards point already. This heavy. There's so much health towards point. So much damage being dealt to him. He is just about living. Oh, and it's going to be a little stalemate. Once again, theme of the match. That's going to be 1-1 in regulation time. So we're going to be going to our first golden cap.
Nice. Maybe we don't catch the start of the Div 1 finals after all, because this is so close. In which case, unlucky. But it is what it is, and we have to live with that right now, and for what it's worth, I can very much live with this being as close as it is right now. So yeah, 1-1 it is, and what a game. Really slow for the vast majority, but every time something happened, it was just insane back and forths.
It's really weird. It seems like if there was any opportunities where the BIGFOOT players could feel like they would do anything, like, I don't know, like they definitely had opportunities. Well, in fact, I guess either team had opportunities. They just didn't quite know what to work with it. Definitely a little bit of a lack of experience, or possibly lack of map knowledge. Not 100% certain, but like when they got going, it was really equal fights all the way. And just to clarify, this will obviously be going golden cap. The rule set for golden cap is currently obviously first person to score a round, and there's a maximum of a 15-minute time limit. If the 15-minute time limit does get reached, it'll be whoever currently possesses mid at that time. So as much as you can't win mid and then stalemate out for 10 minutes because of the whole 15-minute clock, it does again incentivize being in a winning position, and then kind of if they want to chill for another 10 minutes, it's something which can kind of work just about, as long as you do it at the right time. So I don't know.
Also, I just realized, and that has nothing to do with the actual game right now, is that there's a Latvian player called Axio, so that would be probably slightly confusing if you if you would pronounce the name like that from now on, I guess. I just remembered that.
An homage.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure there was a game I watched last season of Highlander in whatever div they were in, where both of them played against each other.
I'm going to shout out how half of the fragging players in the server had single-digit amounts of frags that entire game.
That is not surprising. Somehow, still kind of sad.
True. Also, the soldiers got bullied. They were the only people dying that game.
I mean, yeah, that's not surprising. We saw a lot of sack attempts that just didn't get much done, be it on mid or on last. On last, it was mostly almost famous to solis, and on the other side, it was on mid and was just on offense.
I have a question, Dom. I'm not saying Matt's popping off or nothing, right? Because he wasn't, like, straight up. However, if you have that much faith in your sniper, do you run sniper to mid on one of these mids? They have been winning anyway, but sometimes, like, you know, there's been this little break for BIGFOOT to try and, like, counter some of these mid fights. Do you then come into this mid in the golden cap with a completely different approach, trust him to hit a couple big headshots, and trying to stomp through that?
If it was anything but the mid fights looking good for almost famous, I would argue it wouldn't be the worst idea. As it stands though, the mids have been maybe not like tremendously better, but just better at the moment. Enough to get the wins the 2.5 times we had mid fights so far anyway. So I don't see that being the case here, and it doesn't look like it currently.
No, this is going to be it. So this will be our golden cap round for the first map here for our low grand finals. like Dom was saying, we don't have any off classes, nothing weird to me. It does seem like both teams pretty content just to keep on doing their own thing. This time, though, he's getting a bit aggressive. Oh, these pipes from Droidsters. Goodbye, TuMMTm. Getting absolutely nuked now. And you see the medical side of BIGFOOT. He's so scared. He's playing super far back as these soldiers from the team try to commit forward, but they're just getting cleaned up as well. Satan and AMT get absolutely nuked. There's none of the rest of the team have any interest in moving forward at all. You even see the medics going to be backing all the way towards Shutter once again. Second will go firmly to the control of Almost Famous, and once again a very comfortable position for them to be in. Ubers will at least be equal. There is an opportunity to sack if they're pretty quick before this full defensive setup comes into play. It does look like they're a little bit slow, not feeling like rushing too much.
Well, either something happens fast or we're gonna sit here for 15 minutes. Either way, it's gonna be interesting what happens next. For now, it's Duckers just making sure that there's no sniper on the other end just yet. Not anything to be spotted here though, so Almost Famous remaining on normal classes for the moment, seeing what they can accomplish with this. If anything, see if the other team takes a bait into second here.
Yeah, we do see this same hold on the defensive side. They got a big old gun, plenty of people towards this doorway, and only really one guy in the dispenser towards this right-hand side. So, as always, a little bit of a risk here for AMT if anyone tries to just fully commit, and the flank's definitely aware of this on the side of Almost Famous. They do know he's there more or less by himself. They should be able to tell as well he's not buffed because there's no buff particles. He's actually getting super weak. He has to go all the way back to spawn. They don't want to make anything too much happen. Obviously, jumping from left is hard at the best of times because you're still jumping into a gun, ultimately. But sometimes you could just string one frag into another. Matter jumping in. Bit of damage, nothing's going to be secured. Ooh, the directs from Oxo picking up AMT. That's going to make things pretty nice. And with Satan as well going a little weak, there's actually no one playing close towards this left-hand doorway at all. Satan is going to jump in. He's going to take some decent damage here as well. Dispenser actually saved his life for just a second, but not any longer than that. The synchronized rockets from these soldiers. Look at them go. Guns getting absolutely decimated. And there's so much space now. 30 Sam moving towards point, forcing the other team to start using their Uber as well. Ox is going to get dropped into all of this. Uber's getting flashed to a lot of different players here on the side of the Polish team. These scouts are going to be trying to mulch AMT, but actually they're completely spread. They don't know what they're focusing at all. And now they're caught so much towards the low ground. Getting absolutely nuked. The nice little surf from Exo is going to keep him alive, but not indefinitely. He's going to be losing his life.
Massa still hiding though. TK didn't spot him on the way to Shutter. TuMMTm is still on last, and there's people still in the lobby that could fall back in time, but it comes down to this 1v1 here.
Oh my god, Pyro versus Soldier. We should know the way this is going to go.
Exactly, the scout wins.
Exactly, the scout wins.
Classic Q2. Scout always wins.
Exactly, he's going to help his buddy out. You know, it wasn't his fight, he didn't care. He was going to win it nice and easy. So now, player advantage, Uber advantage, and they should be able to almost start moving towards mid if they want to. We see such a defensive, Almost Famous. It's a little bit uncertain of quite when this Uber's going to come out. And they don't want to get caught too close. Seem like we're moving towards Cafe though on the aggressive side of BIGFOOT. We see TuMMTm walking through, taking some position, spotting out all these different players, potential jumpers, things like that. It does look like they could be taking mid completely for free. Matter once again is going to have Sniper trying to rattle off a couple shots. Really hitting anything so far. As much as this is a nice little free take for the side of BIGFOOT, it's actually going to be, oh my days, Tark is just going to walk in with his own Uber. He's going to be taking down one and then a second as well. We do see this Uber on side of BIGFOOT. I don't really understand how nothing got achieved there again. What a beautiful little surf from Exo again. But he's going to be going down. This is just Scout. This is just past the brain. Everyone's going for everything, and yet somehow Karska's got quad pistol.
That was bizarre. Both teams just wanted to try to sneak past each other, but given the fact that BIGFOOT just didn't cap mid in time, it just clearly couldn't work in their favor, and still they tried and had to back off into mid after the Evo was said and done and just come back into a fight that was a losing one to begin with, so that could have been a lot better, but in the end, it is both medics dying, still in favor of Almost Famous map control wise, but with advantage to BIGFOOT for now, assuming they can get out of this anytime soon, which might be difficult though. It's not the biggest advantage ever, with a sniper waiting on the other side too.
Exactly, like whenever there's a sniper, you're always incentivized to kind of, you know, dot push out anyway. You know, use immediately through the doorway. With this kind of advantage, they'd have to, and it's already gone down to like a 13%. Like literally less than that advantage. I feel like your boys on the side of BIGFOOT, you know, they ain't been feeling like doing too much crazy this game. I don't think this is going to be the moment in which they're going to start, as actually the somehow just way better building from the side of Almost Famous is just going to get them Uber before the BIGFOOT players. They got big brain. They got like seeds on medic. Dude like builds like 0.1% faster or something for no reason.
Which is actually really funny, because I'm pretty sure that last match they played in the semifinals BIGFOOT was significantly worse at building than the opponent's team. So clearly they took the mistakes they made too hard and fixed that very, very quickly.
Once again, we are going to see this aggressive left-hand side push. One frag already being traded out, and then traded out again. The soldiers, well, oh my brother, you just jumped into 3 people, and you got punished for it. This gun is still up. It does look like it's going to get taken down from some nice, easy pipe spam. And inexplicably, BIGFOOT just used the Uber on basically nothing. Droids did get caught in. He will force his medic to have to use his Uber. Oh my days, the upwards direct's going to make things a little bit good, but this is turning into scrappy clown fiesta again, and they're just running people out heavy. Okay, that's definitely a little bit questionable. And Matza, he wants to be cheeky as well. He wants to play a little bit towards lobby, try and get anyone who's just going to walk in a straight line. But he's not going to hit his shots either, and it is going to be BIGFOOT's opportunity to push out. That was looking good for Almost Famous there. I'm not really sure what the game plan was. TuMTm's actually staying on Tari. He wants to keep on the gimmicks.
That's on Sniper, gets the DuMmTm out of the equation. Satan up forward, close, with very low HP, gets cleaned up quickly. They barely will cap this in time, and even then the scout has to get out first of all, and it might just be him getting himself strapped on point, barely weasels his way out of there. But it's still 2 down, demo included on even Ubers right now.
It is true. They could look to just keep on going if they want to. Nice and aggressive through possibly all the way top right. This pirate is still playing close to headshots again. Matza, he's activated. You know, he's getting one frag after another, after another. Droids as though he's making things a little bit better for the enemy team. He's going to lose his own life and, you know, make it... The thing is, you don't want to win too hard because he's just hitting everything now. I feel like he heard me BMing at one point about him, you know, not hitting a great deal. He's going to round off one headshot. Carter's going to be picking up this demo man again. 3 players on the defending side, just only getting the spawner in now, and it's a full bust all the way through top right. Uber's getting used for both teams. It's going to be a big old solo on TuMTm. He's going to walk towards this point, try and force things off, and Max is just hitting absolutely everything. Oh my absolute days, he's hitting every headshot and securing the win for his team here. Golden cap win for Almost Famous.
Alright, in theory, this is the first points that Almost Famous did drop this season, technically speaking, since the golden cap still will, in the end scoreline, count as a point to the other team, but realistically speaking, so far they remain undefeated. As close as this was yet again, BIGFOOT not quite getting there in time. They just had these like random small mistakes here and there, and it just punished them so greatly every time.
I feel like, I don't know, after that game, okay, after the first 30 minutes, I was like, this feels really, really weird. This is like, you know, neither team seems to know a great deal what's going on, but it was just, you know, BIGFOOT's kind of, well, to put it harshly, apathy when it comes to doing things on stalemates. And then apparently it just takes 35 minutes for Matza to wake up, you know, plug his mouse in, and then just own them. So that's a sad little feeling, right? Because you can get killed by most classes in TF2 and be like, you know, the demo hit some crazy pipes, like whatever. But when it's a sniper, you're just like, he just clicked on me. He literally just clicked me on the head. He's just going to keep on doing that. And it's Process next as well. And Process can be a big sniper map.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a very wide open map. I think the one play that just decided this golden cap was the UX change on mid, where they just made the one wrong call to try to go deep instead of keeping position on mid and establish that before anything else. And like that turned around the entire rest of the golden cap here into the favor of Almost Famous yet again, where they just blocked mid successfully and caught people trying to back off through cafe again.
I am going to give BIGFOOT the benefit of the doubt, though. I'm going to guess that this wasn't their map because they didn't look comfortable at any point, right? And that going into Process, they may feel much more comfortable. We always said about Process, it's that map which seemingly everyone plays constantly, right? Like, all of the new up-and-comers, all like the, you know, Gen Z or whatever the description is of TF2 players, they're all like, oh yeah, let's like only play Process like for the rest of our lives, right? If there's a map they should know how to play, it should be this one. So by God, they should feel at least slightly more comfortable doing things.
Maybe we'll see. Well, I won't. My game just crashed, but we will still see in a second.
We will. Unlucky with the game crashing there, buddy. That's sad. What can you do, you know? It
Good
couldn't
game.
handle this raw power, you know?
If only there was an update that could fix that.
Oh, absolutely can be done. Right, we are going to be going here, like I said, Process, the third map. If we have to go there, we'll be going to Snakewater. So it'll be a little bit interesting. This is all very standard maps. Dumb, I'm hearing you type things right now. Am I supposed to be hearing you type things?
What? Sorry, I just, you know, had to activate my demo device, and now I'm typing the...
You also had a very loud drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was
I
weird.
push to talk.
Ah.
Why was that picked up by my mic?
That was good. I felt really close to you in that moment. You know, I felt.
Oh, God damn it. See, I'm prepared, so I copied something after the connect, and now I don't have to connect on copy. I am good at my job.
You're very, very smart. Right, players are getting on there. Oh, see, Matt is on Sniper again in pregame. You know, I'm not going to overanalyze this or anything, but I think he's actually finally started feeling himself, you know? We do, I was, honestly, so that game ended, and I was like, oh yeah, we could go to some logs to look at things, but I kind of feel like there's almost not much point in us looking at logs for what was a ridiculously slow regulation time where soldiers got bullied a bit, and then a golden cap where Matt just hit loads of headshots. I'm going to look at things anyway. He got 8 headshots in 3.5 minutes. That was the logs for the golden cap.
That is pretty decent, yeah. I would say.
Yeah, that was it. He won that. He got 8 frags. He won that.
Shame he didn't feel himself yesterday in the Highlander game they played.
Oh, what? That's rude. You can't say that.
I already did yesterday, to be fair.
Oh. Right, dude, that ain't right. Right, well, if you're at the side of BIGFOOT, that can't be in your head right now, you know? You can't let this stuff get to you. You want to be thinking, right, that map didn't go great, right? You know, didn't feel great, didn't feel awesome, whatever. This map's going to be presumably their pick. They're going to feel a little bit better. I think the biggest thing in terms of, like, so many of these situations is just, we said it a million times before, like, proactivity, but also in terms of these mid-fights, like, that mid-fight in the Golden Cap, we saw Almost Famous basically just stand around, do whatever. They got 1 frag just because, like, 2 pipes hit TuMTm, you know, easy peasy, whatever. And then literally the entirety of the BIGFOOT combo is just like, you know what? I'm going to stand all the way back on Valley and basically be done with this mid. And it's like, I feel like you can't really do that, you know? Like, it's like those teams which, like, at that point, you're basically playing to lose, right? Like, you might as well just leave all the way if you're going to lose 1 player, then not even try for anything, you know? It's like those middle grounds where then people try and commit and then you get owned. I think
why is your mic so crispy today? What happened? Did you change
crispy.
something?
Was
yes,
it crispy?
Very crispy mic.
Crispy good or crispy bad?
Crispy bad. Like literally sounding crispy. I don't know what happened during the match, but at some point it just got worse. just trying to help you out here. Before the match starts again. Alright, well he's trying to fix that. Let's just hope the game, well, depending on how much you like Eepily doesn't or does start in the meantime, and it does, well, he's gone fixing his mic, so I guess we'll be taking over alone for now as we go into map 2 between BIGFOOT and Almost Famous. Almost Famous being up 1, and oh man, Eepily's back as well.
Hi, is this less crispy?
Not really, but it's fine.
I'm a little bit tilted. Okay, fine, whatever. We go into this first mid anyway. I don't even care. Don't even care now. We are going to be seeing aggressive soldiers. Oh my days, DK's going so weak. All the way towards the choke point, but he has to get a nice little beam and an arrow, and safe enough to getting this first frag. Matter losing his life along with Ox now as well. He's getting cleaned up. Nice, easy frags here on both the soldiers, but frags being traded all the way. Draws. I've been informed I'm saying it wrong. Dies.
Yeah, you put a Y in this name somewhere. I don't know where you'd got that from. Anyway, Sam tries to commit a load on Tiger and empty. 1-2s him directly into the floor. Josters and Kartke, however, don't care. They just want to keep playing this, and Empty being the next victim here with TK on their list, but he's getting out of there before that can happen. So just quick recommit. Didn't look well done at all at the beginning, but they just followed through with it anyway, and sometimes just committing to something that doesn't look great just turns out for the better later.
Definitely a little bit interesting. We do have this an Eepily situation. We are going to have BIGFOOT once again sitting around in their second. I feel like that's their specialty, you know, standing on second. Deep Soldier's going to be getting a little bit of info. Not going to commit too much to a bomb though. We do actually see every single player from the side of BIGFOOT just chilling on second. They don't even care. Empty now going to at least look towards the flank. You know, he's just going to sit there and be like, all right, I would at least like vaguely look in that direction. I'll give you guys a bit of credit here. And now he's just going to stay at choke again.
Can I just point out how quickly this game started after switching maps as well? This is the wonder of just threatening low players about getting banned when they play slowly.
That is a very good idea. Kartke is going to be going down, and you see a deep old bomb from Staking. A lot of damage here. Must be forcing off that Uber though again. Nice little surfs here. A bit like the this old medical man on the side of Almost Famous. He's got some nutty surfs.
Yeah, and you definitely need those to just escape people. Everybody's getting better by the minute these days. Practice is just so easy to get, so you gotta step it up as well on the defensive play, and surfing is very, very important to just live stuff at the end of the day. So Either side got a kill, both spawners back on the field, lots of spam trying to get exchange, but no one really wants to commit too much just yet. Still, just the general layout of the map compared to Sunshine allows people to just get the damage in a lot easier than before. Matza tries for the second time, I think, with a high jump. Fucho gets in deep and the medic won't get that one. No serve to be seen here.
That was fat little direct there. Easy drop. One there, +2 on your board. Don't even care. Goodbye. Right. Now, almost famous. They're playing super chill. They're expecting this counter stack, but no one on the side of BIGFOOT. I think they're all a little bit startled. You even actually have, right, Duckers, the man, the myth, the legend, just goes back to last like, I'm building a gun. Alright, you boys messed up. I don't care. I'm building a gun here. You see both soldiers here going to spam at least a little bit, but no one's looking to jump. No one's looking to lose their life over something so utterly redundant as trying to kill this medic right now. DuMmTm is going to go for it, and yeah, it was a bit redundant. He was nowhere near. He was literally like Baisu that entire time. Baited.
Yeah, he just saw the scouts not quite with the medic and just tried to sneak past. And if he just decided to kill the scout, at least he would have traded. Now it's 5 seconds before he spawns, and they're already way into last.
Yeah, one push is going to make things nice and easy. We do see the demo getting aggressive towards top. Good damage, but this gun's actually not gone down at all. No one's even spamming it that much. You can see the demo here. It's just going to be straight forward. Pipes her out, takes down the medic already. It's going to be causing a massive distraction. The damage, though, is not really on the same players. Between TuMmTm and Tika, they're actually taking down 3. And this push has got to be completely just... Nope. Right, we're gone. We do still see Exio with the rest of his team did survive there, so it's about 20% advantage, but just only getting the spawners there. BIGFOOT want to go to second, they absolutely can.
Yeah, they are committing already, just seeing a few people back in choke. Obviously all the spawners are the ones coming back in, also no threat of a backup just yet, only people in front of them. Still, they're trying to commit regardless of almost famous, at least a little bit. Ox just looking for some damage, and while they're hitting it, no one really wants to dare fight until they have, which they can't afford to wait. They have this advantage, they just need another few seconds here.
It is true, 90% now on this little blue medic, and they're building it. I feel like they want it, you know? They want it. If they want it, though, they gotta go fast. We even see BIGFOOT's medic playing all the way towards 1. He's gonna have to be pretty sharpish out that door. We see this demo jumping on deep here. It actually look like they want to try and walk through choke a little bit and at least try and take some position for free. Problem is, this Uber's gonna be up, like, any second now. This is pretty scary. Satan's gonna lose his life. Oh, and the rest of the team actually goes all the way. That's super clean. Matza is gonna die. Some sticky bombs, but I mean... Getting it second completely for free off like a 20% advantage, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, BIGFOOT just never believed in the whole. They always had the NG on last, just ready to leave at any moment. And the fact that this was such slow play by Almost Famous just was very unfortunate for them in the circumstance. They could have waited to get an exchange out here, but you can't know that in advance. They just expected a fast play into the second point.
Well, can make things nice and easy. Once again, we do see your boy Matza, the Premiership Sniper Man himself. He doesn't care. He was rattling off in that golden cap. We'll see if he can hit something in regulation time. Satan takes a little body shot, so he's going to be having to go all the way back towards spawn. But in all of this, TuMmTm behind. He's on the spy. He's actually getting every single piece of information that the rest of his team will need to try and not die to the sniper. Karka, though, doesn't quite get the moment. Oh my god, TuMmTm's in! That's a little bit sad.
Satan tries to commit 2. Matza picks him up before even Drossus gets a chance to get his stickies there. I was about to say, surely having your spy go onto his own sniper and Highlander is going to be advantageous to know how he's playing, but no, just doesn't even get to that point.
That is absolutely not ideal at all. Ox is going to try and jump in, get nowhere at all, and the Ubers are going to get used anyway, so Ox kind of throwing away his life for nothing there. Ubers are going to get out of the way. DuMmTm going to be picking up this kill here as well, so only 3 players on the side of Almost Famous, and they're going to be once again running away. This time the spawners won't be in. There'll be no contesting of second. They might just about get their players with forward spawns. They won't even, so actually this is a chance for BIGFOOT just to go all the way through to mid. They've got to be fast though. These 4 players, they're going to get their friends in just a few short moments, and they want to go on. Yeah, they're moving forward. These soldiers taking position. Perfect little stuff. If the Poles do want to fight, they can, but they have to fight from a slightly disadvantageous position. Satan, though, he picks up Matza. He's knocking little surf.
Big bomb by Ox. So much damage, it's not enough though. No one's with him, unfortunately. Everybody got denied really well and choked by BIGFOOT, so it was all on him. And finally, the serfs are coming out for BIGFOOT to save the medic's life, which just didn't happen earlier to get them into last in the first place, but now that they happen, they just can keep rolling forward.
They absolutely can. Actually, in this situation, we don't quite have the Uber up on the side of BIGFOOT, and it's Oh, they're so lucky to get out of there. That's actually so insane. There's a world where they just get completely crunched there, but instead they manage to force off an Uber, not lose anyone, build up their own massive Uber advantage. I don't know, it feels like they can even try and take second a bit for free. Nah, they are gonna lose Satan, and there is gonna be Carter on the flank as well. He will be picking up the second soldier, as long as he can get this one shot.
Barely living. But they do have to use anyway, they're chasing deep, they don't get too much with it, but at least the demo died, that's a good pick. Still chasing all the way around, Tipton trade for another one in Rolo, and Scout still in deep. Sweaty Sam gets the kill eventually.
Oh mate, he is sweaty. He is like proper sweaty right now. Empty. Ooh, backlines. No one has any idea that he's here. I feel like he might get a little bit multiple some of his players. The deep chase from Matter though, he's picking up this medic as well, so... Oh, it's gonna be all on Empty. No.
Alright, with the medic down and also nowhere to be found, this is going to be a pretty quick mid-cap for the side of Almost Famous. They almost have the Uber already too, so there's just so little that BIGFOOT can do here to even hold on to second. We've seen him play passive before, but this time they just won't have an Uber or Gun to fall back to.
No, they won't. They're just going to be chilling towards a rollout and one respectively, and they're just like, nah. No, not at all. Not even going to bother sending a jumper this time. And this should be just the easiest push of Almost Famous's life. Like I said, there is that one gun to deal with, but that's basically it. They could look to go 3, 4, 1, 5, you know, count as many fingers as you have on your hand. And that's the options that they have, but it's going to be 3. That was going to be jumping in. It's a lot of damage, forcing this medic and nuking him down as well. So no kills on the defending side whatsoever. The scout though, Sweaty Sam, he goes to point way too aggressive. Nobody near the rest of the team, and their demo and Kartka's going to be going down as well. They're all getting absolutely mulched. Even Ox picking up this one frag's not going to really do anything because they just rushed.
Yeah, their early focus fire is always so nice to delete the medic, but then their position post-over is just awful and they just die all over the place. It's really bizarre how quickly these last pushes just shift in terms of who's favored.
I don't really get it. Like, they go in, they get that one frag. Like, the long game wins them that fight, and yet they play super fast. They play super fast, and it's just... I don't know, maybe they're spinning themselves too much. Speaking of which, we have so many of these players, they want to commit towards second. They're really keen. Almost Famous, they want to like try and go towards grass. Their medics having none of it though. He's like, boys, I don't know, if you want to get some frags, you go for it, but...
Especially since you almost have too. He can't afford to die and he's taking so much damage just trying to cross to his teammates. Spam fight wouldn't be so bad, but now they have Uber. Now it turns all the way around. Now BIGFOOT needs to be careful here. But no, it's just Almost Famous doesn't even commit with this now that they have. They think it's way much more even than it is. In the meantime, BIGFOOT only now gets. They were way too afraid of an even Uber situation.
I feel like that entire situation was just a fantastic little log damage building episode for BIGFOOT. Like, you know, credit to them. They just stood around, they kept spamming, and they turned a 20% disad into an equal Uber situation just based on that. So Soldier's going to be jumping in, not getting anything too much as his body jumps in and does get the force. So Officer Matter trading their life for an Uber advantage. And the rest of their team, they have to be hyper aware because they're actually all the way towards IT. They're going to lose Sweaty Sam as well. So it's actually 3 players versus 5. They have this Uber advantage and they are actually using now the entirety of Almost Famous. They're going to be running all the way. Oh my days, please tell me how that's such an awful death. And now we even see Kartka. He just doesn't care. He's in a DM server.
Oh, that is an interesting position to be paused on. Kartka just counterfeeds immediately to try to redeem the situation. Tries to get to the medic, scout around the corner. Medic can just jump around. Surely will take some damage here, depending on how good this first shot is. And it just all comes down to who wins that fight the quickest down there. And nothing much else, because Xio is way out of there. Amp is certainly going back and for the medic, if anything. So Xio is all the way out of there. It just all comes down to Kartka hitting this shot.
Do you reckon he beefs? It would be pretty embarrassing if he beefed. Okay, we need to hype this up, right? We need like solo 100% Kartka cam because he is going to hit the 2 largest meat shots of his entire life when this unpause happens. Obviously, for context, because of the 90-second STV delay, this isn't actually when the pause happened because that genuinely would be a really unfortunate time.
That would be really annoying. You just are the medic and you know there's a scout is coming your way.
He gets 1 shot, 2 shot, and he gets him! The frag! Oh, he doesn't get a second. Unlucky.
That's still the medic down. That was such a messy sequence of events there, leading up to that early force through into second by Almost Famous. Still somehow more or less redeeming situation enough to get an advantage out of this right now. Xio didn't heal for a little bit there, but it's still 25% advantage in their favor. That's nothing to complain about as long as they get the second point back here. And if we know anything, then it is that Almost Famous will play for damage here. And they're all already in, just fighting people all the way deep into second.
Oh, look at this. Patient play. Okay, right. They did try and give TK some free frags by shooting the stickies towards their own medic Exio, but guess what? It wasn't enough stickies to kill him. He's fine. Doesn't even care. Right. Going to be getting their old Uber advantage and building hard to make the most out of this situation. But obviously Carter, you know, the king himself. He got that all important frag.
Yeah, maybe 3 times the charm in this match. Maybe all they need is just one more attempt at last to figure out what went wrong and fix it. Chances now, Joss is on the beam with Scout in as well.
Oh my days, once again, he's just going to jump in and he's like, I solely want this medic and nothing else. He loses his life and now the rest of his players are seemingly getting pretty mulched. TuMTm does go down, at least to Sweaty Sam. The rest of the team not quite going to full commit because they're like, hey, our demo just ran in and died. So, I mean, I guess we're on second now. I don't really get it. Like, these last pushes are just like, I don't know, like there's zero plan.
Alright, this is where the pause happened. I will scroll up in chat to see. It was comp issues. Okay, so that seems to be fixed, whatever it was. And no one had DC, so we can immediately continue in with 12 on the server still. And big ad, well not really, but ad for BIGFOOT that they don't seem to be wanting to rush things forward with. Xio getting closer and closer.
I just saw TuMTm just like stare at his medic like, please, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. They want to go PC, Uber's going to be getting used. TK's jump kind of sucks, he's whacked his head on the old thingy, and Exo's going to be getting his own Uber now. The repop is pretty fantastic, about 65% better here. There's going to be so many players that have to scatter, but actually the focus fire for the entirety of Almost Famous ain't looking too good. We do see, eventually they pick up this medic here, but not before Sweaty Sam traded out as well. This is pure Clan Fiesta, and apparently, I don't know, Almost Fiesta seems to be going well in Clan Fiestas before, but it's actually BIGFOOT that's taking a bit of a lead here. Just as I say that. Just as I say that. I don't know. This is scrappy. He sticked him. He just sticked him. Oh, man. That's sad.
That was such a messy fight. There was just no one really in early on the fight for Almost Famous, so everybody had to rush in late and clean up the mess, and a mess it was. Surely Jostas gets the final kill onto AMT by the time he has some spawns with him to help him out of that. So that is the end of this fight here. They just waited a little bit long. You mentioned TuMTm just looking like he wants to rush this in a little bit faster, and maybe that would have done them some favors if they just were a bit quicker into mid.
Quite possibly, you know, this is actually nearly halfway through our game now, and both teams not looking too hot right now. You know, we've seen a lot of opportunities for Almost Famous to try and get last, and so far they've opted not to just yet. Little discussions in chat asking about the did you pause with the Uber bug, and you know, did Ubers get built a little bit, and some of the players on BIGFOOT are confused as to how they didn't have a big advantage there.
I'm pretty sure that the general Surf Me config just doesn't have the bug anymore, though, does it?
I'm pretty sure that's the case. However, don't tell these guys because the chat's pretty lit right now.
Much more entertaining this way, I guess, it's true.
Exactly. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna say what's in chat. It's just,
I
it's just
should
quite
be
funny.
replayed, just the entire match.
Oh my days. Right, okay, it is still gonna be nice and equal. Both teams sitting there with their own Ubers, and as always, Almost Famous peeking and prodding with their soldiers. In all of this though, when they spend all this time with both their soldiers jumping just around choke, it does leave the flank a little bit open. It's kind of all on Sweaty Sam whenever this happens, and sometimes, I mean, you know, Scout's a good class, but sometimes they can just die. Like, that could always happen. You could always push it if you wanted to. Doesn't seem like you want to, but they could. The crazy world that we live in. I do agree. Soldiers in once again, getting a nice little jump off the ramp. Not going to be hitting anything too much towards this medic though. He's going to get taken down. Matt's not long for this world, unfortunately. And AMT, he's going to be calling. He wants himself a little buff, you know? You have to jump towards... Oh, he actually jumps low to try and avoid these stickies. And gets absolutely mulched towards this front side of second. So he's at least going to get out with his life. He can possibly go again if he really fancies to. But he's going to concede. He's like, you know what? I gave it a go. I gave it a go. Didn't happen.
The boys are back in town. The boys being Matt's sniper, trying to somehow turn these stalemates into his team's favor. Well, so far, it's a bit more troublesome. Granted, it's mostly the last pushes that need fixing more than anything else right now. but still they need some momentum in this game to even get back to last and get some more chances here. They, I believe, checked for it, but just knowing the sniper's there doesn't mean you will play around it correctly just by itself. So let's see if BIGFOOT can hopefully improve the sniper countermeasures from last map.
Okay, standing still is not a great start, as the soldier does get a headshot. At least he has just enough health to survive through that, so Matt already asserting a little bit of pressure, forcing these players back towards point a little bit more. He's actually going to be trying to get up top point, see little position, but joke's on him. All of BIGFOOT are just playing literally like on the point themselves. Only really TeamTM has any great risk, and body shots aren't quite connecting just yet. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is another situations where like Matt is eventually going to start like hitting some headshots, and you can't really trust on Almost Famous to like feed through people, because like yeah, it did happen. Don't think it's going to keep happening though.
Well, we'll see. Satan taking some chances, just wants to take the 1v1 and just body blocks the pack to win this, will die immediately after. He wouldn't have gotten out of there anyway, to be fair. He just accepted his fate to flex on Ox.
Sometimes you hit like the double direct and you own that scout, but instead he was like, boy, I'm just going to taunt you because you are bad at TF2.
I don't even believe he had ammo. He would have had to reload. He jumped in with at least one rocket and then shot two, so he just believed he was dead. And I respect it. Just get it to the opponent's head. Make them commit for stuff they wouldn't do otherwise. See if you get away with it.
Never know. Max is going to be sniping towards Sewer. It was a great position to be in because he forced a lot of players to have to play in really weird positions like TK. Towards the floor there. He's going to be losing his life. No sticky bombs at all towards his doorways, making things much, much easier to walk forward. Right now, oh my god, that is the biggest the early use of an Uber I have seen in absolutely years. Saban's going to try and commit hard off it. He does at least force off this Uber, but be going down as well. TeamTM playing on the back line, so he is going to find Ox and should get taken down as well. So two easy frags to Ox.
And in from the sidelines, but it's not good enough. See yourself sit out of there. Sam with the cleanup in the end, and that's still not looking comfortable against the sniper. It doesn't even really matter how much Meltzer is doing right now, as long as the threat of him existing is just in their minds.
Yeah, looking good now. AmpT still actually dead, so this is a player advantage, and all the way far right is going to be all of these players from Almost Famous are going to be going. Once again, Matadus there, charging up his shots, rattling off a couple of body shots here as well, making things just a little bit easier. There's so many stickies towards point as well. Both scouts playing it ×4 on the point. Going to force all these players down, and so much damage is being dealt by your boy Draws. He's absolutely looting right now, single-handedly owning.
And that is finally around. They just needed some more momentum into last. That's arguably still a lot to ask for, given how good the previous opportunities were to make a last push happen. But eventually they will do it, take the lead, and for a game that still had a lot more action overall than last, but still relatively stalematy, so it's gonna be hard for BIGFOOT to find an answer here.
It will be 1-0 with 11 minutes left in this game. Aggressive Soldier is going to be going all the way into the sewer. That belongs to BIGFOOT. That ain't right. The rest of the team going to be going all the way towards far left. Doctor is the first casualty of this mid. And once again, the damage looking pretty decent. Ox taking some decent height. He'll get cleaned up as well, so Boy Dross is going forward. So much damage being dealt towards this chokeboard. Not really able to connect anything. We do see stickies taking down AmpT, and actually TeamTM, while getting this frag, it did take quite a long time. And the rest of frags all the way of Almost Famous, taking down that medic's name that I refuse to say. It's too complicated. Right at the end there. So
actually, we're on the same page on that one.
We are. I was just like, I looked at it like 30 minutes ago. I was like, I ain't doing it.
But yeah, they just never got any space really on mid at all. Really, they just couldn't take the high ground. And the moment BIGFOOT was in the corner, Almost Famous just ran away with the rest of the mid fight and played that one really well. So looking tough for BIGFOOT still, especially now if this is ad. Granted, these ad pushes haven't been too pretty, but if one works, surely one more can follow suit quickly. Maybe not with 5 players though.
Possibly not. Yeah, so Sammy's gonna meet his maker right there, as DK's just being a little bit cheeky with his sticky traps. The rest of players on Almost Famous, I feel like they've been reading the situation right. Genuinely, if they want to win this last push, I think they should just use it and go in off Uber, because like, as in not even go for a trade, just not have an Uber, because apparently Uber is detrimental to this team in last pushes. That is quite fair, genuinely. Like, all of that advantage, they lose one player, and then they're so scared they stand out on second. You boys can't push now. Too late. What are they doing? They want it. They want it still. This is nowhere near Uber advantage still. You do see a Soldier jump in.
It would take so much damage. Ox and Dross is taking 1 million damage on entry, and Scout follows suit after. Max as well denied straight away. Ox at least gets one onto DuMmTm, sitting there in the corner and a sniper, but he's just committed way too deep to last for way too long that they find him. Make a quick end of that one, and like you said, they just committed after the ad was gone, trying to play this like an even Uber situation instead, which is bizarre by itself, but it's clearly also not working, the least of which. So here we are back on second for BIGFOOT, with even Uber Stalemate carrying on onto this point.
It is true. Being in the equal Uber situation, the medic of DuMmTm has his Uber. Yeah, boys! You heard it. What's going on? Whatever he gets forced.
Just empty gets just completely denied in PC in the meantime though, while you're popping off. Just 2v1, Master gets the clean up there, I believe. That's a pick for them. Let's see if they can make something happen. Ox! Satan just collide with air. Ox has nowhere to go, will get cleaned up pretty quickly. Very awkward interaction. Now Master tries to help out way too late though, almost gets himself into more trouble than it's worth. It's only one pick though, and Amp just no spawn, so it's not really that they all have the numbers back on BIGFOOT either. So Matter tries yet again, doesn't even care that they are numbers down, just tries to get the demo forwards. Another pipe connects. Matter didn't hit damage though, that's not enough, a single pipe there.
No, I'm genuinely loving how these almost famous soldiers, they're just jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. They're just like rotating who's getting an arrow, and they're just, I don't know, there was like a good minute there, but they were just going back and forth towards grass. And genuinely, just that little bit of pressure, making things feel uncomfortable on the BIGFOOT side. It's always nice. 7.5 minutes left on the clock, 1 round advantage still. This is feeling a lot like Sunshine. I would imagine if you're on the side of Almost Famous, you're like, hey, what if we do Sunshine, but without throwing right at the end?
But actually just win in regular time.
Yeah, what if you just won? Imagine that. Imagine that. Just
Crazy concept. Well, Mats was trying to win. Yes, he does! Well, Drostas does anyway, but still, that was really nice spam. The fake bomb into real bomb into demo follow-up. That's just textbook sack wave you want to see on Drostas second.
Oh, that was so fat, and T is going to go all the way in. Oh, he does actually force off this Uber. Duckers as well, a little bit too late. He went in, I mean, he must have known his team was going against an Uber there, but whatever, he's going to die as well. So, no Ubers on anyone but players firmly on the side of Almost Famous. They can look to peeky Proddy just a little bit if they want to. I think they're not going to be feeling it right now. They're going to be content with taking a second, but that was such a crispy little drop there.
Yeah, it just needs to actually count right now, and it's not a big advantage. And if history is anything to go by, then this won't really matter, I think, this advantage right now. Sure, it gets them second, but at the end of the day, they don't really need to push anymore. The time is just way too much in their favor at this point.
It is, yeah, it is true. Like 6 minutes now, they can sit here for as long as they want. We do see Duckers get up the old sniper rifle. He's not content, you know. He's like, you know what? Everyone's talking about Matter. I want to show off my own little headshotting skills. He can click on men. I'm sure as good as anyone else, but he's going to be defensive where he's playing. Actually, he gave up. He gave up on sniper just like that.
Yeah, no one comes your way. That's just, that's too much effort. Why do I have to be the one committing the sniper? That's just illegal. Either way, Spy this instead, and in the meantime, players on Almost Famous try to actually put in a little bit of initiative, committing it to one, trying to bait people into a very obvious sticky trap. Satan sees that one coming. No one really falls for it just yet. And in the end, it's still just DuMmTm trying to make his way all the way behind them.
Yep, he's going to be sitting there on the old spy class. Matza does die as well, so it's going to force the rest of Almost Famous all the way behind their point. You see a soldier jumping on deep. He actually gets the force before DuMmTm even needs to decloak, so that's going to be a little bit interesting now. This push out could be so great, and it could honestly be a situation where they can push out, have DuMmTm decloak behind, and then nuke like 2 or 3 people super easily. So they're a pretty hot position. They will be aware that this sniper's going to be here. They should have already seen yet. They should have already called this now. So as much as Matza is returning to his main class, everyone should be aware of this. And pressure's decent. It's not fantastic though. They do cap point. Uber is still in their favor, and it will be DuMmTm still sitting there on mid. He's actually just decloaked and he got himself killed. His team's nowhere near to help him out. They would at least trade out this frag with Sweaty Sam. Still Uber advantage. They gotta go now though. Like they gotta just like move boys. Like through the choke, use whatever, do anything.
Yeah, they have the counter pick. They have even numbers right now. That needs to be good enough if they decide to go with this right now. So they're coming in from PC straight with the Uber, trying to catch as much as they can. Ox weak in front of them. Easy cleanup there. Xeo gets in time though. Will just pop straight in. Not quite everybody having the same ammo there. So a little bit late to the chase, but not too late. Sticky's connecting with the medic. No way out for him. Everybody weak on both sides, but just too few people committed to the fight on Red to actually fight this out.
Yeah, fat stickies there from your boy. Draws absolutely nuking there. And they look like they want to keep on going. Ooh, Matza popping off once again. Satan, goodbye. You're going into the spawn queue. TK is going to have to go all the way out through one as well. Sweaty Sam is a full pasta brain, and he gets punished for it. Deserved, honestly, deserved.
Last hold it is again. BIGFOOT still just holding on by a thread here, and with the ad they have right now, surely this time they will commit with it, right? Surely they won't just let it stalemate out, but at the same time, it's not like they need to. It's this sort of position where they can just afford to play the timer here and see what BIGFOOT has to respond with.
I feel like they're going to. I feel like they want it. You know, they're building hard. They're already moving towards lobby 100% now. It is about a 40% advantage, so it will involve some deep jumping, and then the sniper can do whatever he wants. Uber's now getting used all the way towards 3. This deep jump's actually going to kite all the way to the right as he tries to get on a scout of all people and then dies. Both scouts, in the meantime, going towards point. They're going to get pretty easily cleaned up as well. I'll take that back, actually. Sweaty Sam does manage to
Matza's
get
just in! Oh, he almost got the opportunity to just feed for the medic. He was so deep onto last. The sideline was there, just not quite fast enough to click mouse 2 and then mouse 1. Unfortunate for them, and even more unfortunate is they dared to get the 2-0 here to just end this early. You just need to waste so much less time into that time, but now it's a chance, some hope for BIGFOOT to make the comeback happen.
This is what happened last game, by the way. It was about 3 minutes left to go, and then they choked the last push, and then they basically got like coast-to-coasted. TK wants to make this happen. He's going to jump in super deep, getting decent damage. Doesn't quite hit his shot. Oh, the flash, though. Oh, it's so crispy from TK. He gets those 2 frags, makes things so good for the rest of his team. They're going to be taking control of mid.
But they don't have ISO choke. Everybody commits in with this Uber. It's just a huge nuke by Drossler. So much damage. DuMmTm stuck. Medic gets out at least for now, but they lose just as much as they've gotten, if not worse than that. 3 down for them. They just did not anticipate Uber coming in at all. They just got completely captured up there. And Matza wants to cut them off on second as well. Goes deep. Drossler in second. Doesn't connect the pipes, though. They just get to the shutter door in time.
Oh my days. That's so scary for both teams. It just didn't quite happen. We do see, once again, the side of BIGFOOT, they do have an Uber advantage. It's about 30% or so. It's slightly less, but they kind of have to go. 1 minute 50 on the clock. This is literally going to have to be like a coast-to-coast. And at this point, you are petrified on this push-out of getting like back out.
Yeah, but this has to work. This can't fail anymore. They barely have enough time to get this round in the first place. TK trying to desperately clean some sticks there, but they just decide to pop through anyway. Again, deep Uber with TK leading this in. Needs to hit some pipes to and land them. It's not happening. Xio gets out of time. They have 90. Nothing died. In fact, Satan, the only one it is. That's all the way in the backline, just trying to make escape even harder.
Oh my days, absolutely everyone from the side of Almost Famous is going in. They're dealing so much damage. Droz is going to be losing his life. X2's got his own Uber though, so they can just nuke whenever they want. He's greedy though. He's greedy. He doesn't care at all. He's like, nope, I'm not going to bother using my Uber. I don't even care. DuMmTm's the only remaining player, leaving Spawn on heavy. The rest of his team nowhere near to be seen another 5 seconds or so. He's going to get nuked down. Satan, can he go huge? Realistically, probably not, as this is going to be Almost Famous securing his second round and the victory here.
Yeah, 50 seconds, certainly not enough time to make the comeback happen. So Almost Famous will be the winners of LoW Season 34. Entertaining games. I stand somewhat corrected, but I was right that Sunshine was the closer map, by scoreline speaking at least. And yeah, that was some plays here on these maps.
It is what it is. We are going to see the last minute, the frag clip moment. 30 seconds left to go. Oh my god, what a frag towards Ampty and the rest of these players from the side of Almost Famous. They're going to be serving for taking every single bit of position. Drossers is getting so much damage. What a nuking devil knight. He gets backstabbed though, because Satan ran Spider mid. Getting 2 frags. The king, you know? Absolute king. It's dead time. It's frag clip time. Nothing really matters at all. They're going to clean up this medic just to look a little bit better on the logs. Secure their happiness here in, like you said, winning the old low grand finals.
Satan even get the med kill late, but that's the match. 2-0 on this map, 2-0 in maps in total as well. 2 Almost Famous, winning open into low back-to-back. I don't know how much that happened before with like any divisions, but that's certainly something. So yeah, congratulations to them. Commiserations to BIGFOOT being run-ups, putting up a really good fight, being the only ones that like by ETF2L points got anything out of Almost Famous this season, I believe, being a golden cap last map in this grand final. So they gave them a good fight for the money here, if there was money, but there isn't because we don't have money.
No. And for the theoretical money, you know, it's perfectly fine to play for bragging rights. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we are now the kings of low. everyone fear us.
I mean, yeah, that's why you play TF2, right? You just do it because you want to. You want to be better than these other guys, whoever that might be. In this case, BIGFOOT, and they've shown just that. Now it's next goal, maybe mid-finals. We'll see.
Who knows? You know, maybe just coast to coaster every single division grand finals, one after another. You know. You know what we could do? I feel like we can look at a couple little logs. This was a slightly better game to check out the old statistics for.
Sounds good to me.
Gonna hop on the old logs, see if there's anything standing out. And honestly, what's standing out to me more than anything is the fact that the winning team did not have a single man over 200 DPM that entire game, and the only man who approached 200 was their sniper boy. That was a very low damage game. They actually had less damage than BIGFOOT, but considerably more frags, just because I guess, like, I don't know, BIGFOOT just stalemated. They spammed, they didn't really achieve anything that much.
Yeah, they didn't need to dare that much. They just figured out the options when stuff will work much better, much quicker, and just picked the options better, really. Where for the most game, even on the last map, right, it was just BIGFOOT in the positions where they're forced to just make stuff happen much, much more so. We're forced to create openings instead of just taking them when they happen. And Almost Famous just much, much more so was comfortable in both maps by a decent margin here.
I feel like we've also got to focus a little bit on the old medic stats, in that Exio, 2 deaths to the 12 of his opposing brother medic. So, yeah, 2 deaths to 12, not fantastic. He had 6 more Ubers, and yet 0 BM, little bit of BM. I don't know if the Uber disadvantages mattered that much, right? Because I think you had 6 more Ubers, but I think 5 of them were like car crash last pushes. I feel like not much of it came down to the Uber situation, you know. I feel like some of it came down to the Uber situation, but maybe it could have been a much scarier situation if they had worked out the kinks in their last push strats.
Yeah, that was like the two things that were the worst, I think, for each team, being the last pushes for Almost Famous, which just had bizarre priorities early on, and the mid pushes, these mid Ubers by BIGFOOT, just always being like ever so slightly too late. And the moment they had one that got everybody out properly, they just completely neglected choke to the point where everybody just had free entry. I like to call it just cap trap. You just get them out the point with your own Uber, barely get anything killed. Try to desperately cap, and you just don't have any denial on anything coming in, and you just get crushed on recommit. And it's just such an easy preventable scenario, but it's just so easy to fall for it as well at the same time. And it just made them completely get walked over to get the second round here.
Definitely feels pretty unfortunate to have things go down like that. But other than that, there's nothing too crazy which is standing out in terms of the old logs for me. I mean, Satan did get the most air shots, so morally he was the winner, even though practically he didn't. But you know, air shots, only log that matters. What can you do?
Yeah, and I think the only other thing that was like obviously the big difference maker was just playing well around the sniper. They sure Matza played well by himself, but compared to this last map, they just played better with the sniper, I think, as well. They just enabled him a lot more. Well, last map he was just like thrown into the match a bit more so than they actually like played with him in mind.
What can you do? You know, what can you do? I don't know if there's any interviews planned. I'm not seeing anyone having joined.
I can make something happen. I think I just need to find the connect that I have saved somewhere.
You know, I'm always willing to give our lower division grand finalists a moment in the spotlight to at least shout out some people, but at the same time, I'm very impatient. So you know, swings and roundabouts. I'll let you work some magic a second, and then if they're too slow, we'll just tell them to jog on anyway. You know.
All right, I contacted Ox. Rather, he contacted me. I guess I was just late to give him the connect. But should be coming this way shortly. Or not, because well, he can't be here apparently, but he says he'll send somebody. Which, let's hope that happens quickly, because I mean, we actually happened to finish nicely on time. If there was a next map, it would be close, but it would work if it wasn't golden cap on either of them. But hey, we're on schedule, and that's all I care about. Taking games that happen right before others is always a bit of a risk.
It is, right? But you know, thankfully these both teams agreed that it was going to be done in 2 maps. And you know, it just makes it easy for us. So there will actually be obviously some more TF2 happening tonight. I believe there's the Div 1 Grand Finals and the Mid Grand Finals, but I unfortunately don't believe we will be covering the Mid Grand Finals because we don't have that many producer boys.
Yeah, producer boys are all gone this week, besides our poor old Adam, who has to literally do everything. That was he signed up for, I guess. But yeah, Div 1 will be on this channel in about 40 minutes or so. So realistically in like an hour, because everything happens late, right? I will do my best to provide some sort of coverage of the Mid-Grand Finals on my own Twitch channel later at the same time, 21:15 as well. So that's somewhat to be seen for people that want to watch it. Because apparently there's a lot of emotions in that match on these two opposing teams. I believe it's the Frenchies and Badlands Chucks. So who would have thought that the game with French people and British people will be a heated one?
No idea. Absolutely no idea. Both those countries, I believe, I saw there are some of the lowest ranking countries in the TFTV toxicity list. So I don't, I don't know. Yeah, this must just be like an outlier case.
Surely. Alright, I see some people connecting, but I can only drag them in when they are actually in the proper channel for it. Which I told Ox to let them interview me to get dragged in here, but I don't know if they're smart enough for that. Let's see if they figure it out.
Audience, right? The thing is, audience, you don't understand. This isn't just like low tier gameplay. This is like low tier like interviews as well. So you've got to go through the process of getting them into the channel. It does say interview me.
It's very like obvious.
It could mean anything. It could mean absolutely anything. Oh my!
Oh, they're figuring it out. Okay, I'm gonna drag them forward here.
Oh my days! Right, we're having some boys joining here. We have the medic on the side of Almost Famous, who I may have been pronouncing your name wrong this entire time. How do I pronounce your name?
All right, cool. We also have Hexel, the coach, I believe, more or less for Almost Famous, and Matt's obviously the roaming soldier slash sniper for Almost Famous.
I told the guys to spam the sentry all the time, and they didn't do it. So
there was like one good moment of sentry spam, I think, on Sunshine.
At least hey. It was one moment.
Yeah, hey, it paid off. The gun went down and they pushed last.
Yeah.
It worked out when it needed to be. But yeah, congratulations. How are you guys feeling after a technically completely undefeated season? I mean, you technically dropped a point here, but it's still undefeated.
I mean, after all, we're all happy, but the finals was so boring. Not gonna lie.
It was a very slow game, yeah.
For the viewer.
Well, whenever things did happen, it was interesting, like nothing else. So hey, it just took a while to get to the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Did it feel like from our point of view, just kind of obviously seeing, watching as spectators, it seemed like you guys were primarily the guys initiating any form of aggression, and it kind of to us felt like BIGFOOT didn't feel comfortable enough to really go for anything much. Was that something you kind of noticed over the course of the game, like that you guys could just kind of do whatever you want because they weren't really aggroing you, or did it just kind of feel like, I don't know, what did it feel like to you?
Not really. We always try to play so passive, to not make any mistakes, and also we didn't, I hope. So we just like were pawning when they were actually dying to us, like.
Guys, can I play a Vuvuzela sound effect because I lost my bet?
Please. How much is the bet?
If you do it a bit away from your mic, so it's not too loud, yes, I allow it.
All right.
That was lovely. That was. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. That's appropriate for celebration times, I think.
I'm sorry, Arch.
All good. What can you do? What can you do? I'll be.
Oh no, Adam is gonna yell at players again. No.
Oh my god.
Not again.
We're actually gonna fill the entire mumble up with 50 different players.
Oh yeah, Satan is also here as well now. What up, Satan? How are you feeling? Close game, not quite enough. Oh, he's muted, so never mind. Unlucky. You said.
Wait, hello. I can talk now.
Okay, yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very, very good. I hit some sick air shots. I'm feeling good as fuck right now. And I owe dogs. That's the biggest part.
I feel like I don't know. We were just talking about how that game, from our point of view, it seemed like your boys on BIGFOOT couldn't get any comfortable position to try and, I don't know, initiate any kind of like real sack attempts or anything that much. You kind of felt like you were always on the back foot. Is that your kind of feeling throughout the game?
I mean, they were super aggressive, like for no reason. Like there's guys running in out of nowhere, like super aggressive. I think MT can like add on to this.
I mean, we played it really safe, and like I think usually like we were always, both of our soldiers were already low before we wanted to sack, and then it was just too late. And like just the whole game we played it really safe, and didn't want to take any risks because we know they can like turn it down really quick.
And they just countered us, I guess. They played really aggressive. We played really slow and methodical, but didn't work out for us.
Yeah. Well played, GG.
GG's, I guess.
Well, at least it's good attitudes afterwards, which I would not imagine to be the case for the mid game later, but that's a different story. Yeah, but it was a fun season with you guys. I mean, you guys know I watched a lot of LoW, and it was always a lot of fun watching either of you two teams and everybody else play as well. So I had a lot of fun. Arguably, LoW was the most fun season, most fun div for me this season. Although our divs are certainly very close as well. So yeah, any other questions, Eepily?
Yes. Why am I so crispy? And why does my mic sound literally fine on my end, but apparently not for anyone else?
It's the Brexit mic.
That's my only remaining question. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, big shout out to DuMmTm for all the casts and everything. Appreciate it.
Big shout out to BB. BB.
Oh, hang on a second. Right. If we're gonna do shout outs, we're gonna do them in a linear, clear set order, you know? This is the rules of the game.
Well, BIGFOOT starts.
I mean, BIGFOOT
started
starts
already,
always.
so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they have done now, so now it's almost famous.
There you go. Alright.
Alright, see you. Any shoutouts?
See you.
Wait, I'm here.
Any shoutouts from you to anyone?
Just to Ark for making this team and letting us win as a team. Because we didn't manage to actually win without him. I mean, we couldn't, so we just won basically because of him. We have to be honest.
Alright, Hexel, any shoutouts to your boys or anyone else?
I wanna thank my boys for playing the World Season and doing good. So we are gonna see each other in mid, I guess. And thank you for for raiding my bullshit on the Discord when I was mentioning the errors that you do during the match. Every mistake.
Alright, Matt, anyone to shout out here?
No.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, with that, I guess let's just end this early enough and just get a nice little break before the Div 1 finals in a few more minutes. 21:15 will be Lentavad Circulet, aka the Finns, because that's much easier, and Crunch Esports, led by Charlie, obviously, who else, in the Div 1 finals, fighting for the Prem spot. At the same time, mid-grand finals will also be happening. France versus mostly Britain, I believe. And I'll be doing that on my channel. Just look up my name on Twitch and you can find that too, whichever game you prefer to watch. Obviously, Div 1 is going to be much, much bigger gameplay, but maybe you just want to see the grudge match between two teams that apparently very much don't like each other. We'll see. I'll see you guys on either side, and see you guys next time.